Hey guys, it's me, Lil Potato, and today I'm gonna be doing a deep dive into MC Command Center settings. And I've divided this video into 4 sections, and they are Sim MCCC settings, Computer MCCC settings, MC Tuner, and lastly, I will give a mini tutorial on how I use the Fashion Authority mode in my game. And jumping right in. The first thing I want to discuss is the menu that you can access through clicking on a sim. Under this menu, the first option you'll see will be Modify Household in Create a Sim, which is just normal cast, so I'm skipping this to the next one, which is Sim Commands. Under Sim Commands, you'll see another Modifying Cast option, but this one only takes the sim that you've selected into Create a Sim, not their whole household. This comes in handy when you mess with the maximum number of sims in your household option, which I will discuss later in this video under the Computer MCC menu section, but if you do increase your maximum limit of the number of sims in a household, and for example you have a household of 10 sims, if you go through the normal routes of going into Create a Sim, 2 out of those 10 sims will disappear from your household, and we don't want that. So if you have more than 8 sims in your household and you want to go to Create a Sim, even if it's just to like change a makeup look or an outfit, you should use this option solely instead of any other options to go into Create a Sim. Next one is Modify Carrier Outfit under Sim Commands, and it does exactly what you think it does. You can modify your career outfit by clicking on this option. Make sure to not change the outfit category once you've loaded into CAS, but you're free to change anything else like their makeup, their accessories, shoes, clothes, without it messing up any of their existing outfits. The next one is Set Age under Sim Commands, and you can instantly change a sim's age through this option. No cake needed. Next is Maintain Sim, and under this menu you will have options to rename, delete, kill, move, set gender preference, or swap the gender of the currently selected sim. The other one under Sim Commands is Teleport Commands, and you will have 3 options under this menu. First one is Teleport a sim to this sim, where you can select any sim in that save file to teleport onto that sim. Second is Teleport multiple sims to this sim, and this one is the same as the first one, but you can select multiple people to teleport to your sim. And the third and last one is Teleport this sim to World Sim, which is the reverse operation of the first one, where you teleport the sim you have clicked on to access this menu onto a sim you will select from that menu somewhere in the world. The next one is Occult Commands under Sim Commands. If the currently selected sim is a human, you can alienize the sim, but if the selected sim is an occult themselves, you will get options to either humanize sim or an action related to their own occults. The last one under Sim Commands is Login Commands, which I have never used, so I'm skipping this one. After Sim Commands, you will find the MC Cast menu on the list. Through here, you can copy and paste genetics such as face, physique, skin details, skin tone, and etc. You can add, change, or remove traits. You can select their favorite umbrella and their favorite drink, which are both hidden preferences. You can set their voice, folk style, and their sunbathing options if you have the Island Living installed. After MC Cast, you will see the MC Cheats menu. When you click on MC Cheats, the first option you will get will be the option to increase funds, which allows you to increase the funds of the household of the selected sim. Oh, by the way, all of the things that I have discussed up until this point and after this point can be applied to any active sim on your household or any sim that you see walking around the street that you can click on. The second option under MC Cheats is Cheat Sim Info. Here you can change and alter many aspects of the selected sim. And I find the options under this menu very helpful for storytelling and setting up your own save and etc. Through the Cheat Sim Info menu, you can promote, demote, quit, or change career branch for selected sim, change the stats of the sim, and these stats include hidden skills, normal skills, and needs of that sim. But I would recommend using the Skill Cheats menu if you are gonna mess with it sim's skill levels, because under the option of change statistic, you can alter skills, but you cannot alter skill level that you have not yet gained with that sim. And lastly, you can control a sim's mood and their buffs under Cheat Sim Info menu with just a few clicks. Right under Cheat Sim Info, there will be an Occult Cheats menu where you will find cheats catered to occult sims, and human sims can get abducted by aliens through this menu. After Occult Cheats, there is the Increase Points menu where you can increase club points, followers, restaurant points, retail points, satisfaction points, and etc. The next one is Make Happy under MC Cheats, which will instantly fill all the needs to their max for the selected sim. Under MC Cheats, you can complete aspirational goal, reset aspiration, and lastly reset sim. After MC Cheats, you will see the MC Cleaner. Under this menu, there is a Move Inventory button which will move all the items from that sim's personal inventory to household inventory. Other than the Move Inventory option, you can sell every item in your household or your personal inventory with one click. The next one after MC Cleaner is MC Dresser. Through here, you can copy and paste outfit parts such as outfit, hair, body hair, makeup, and accessories. And you can instantly change the outfit of the current sim without any animations or waiting, no matter what they are in the middle of doing. Under the outfit commands, you can clean outfit, save an outfit, add an outfit to a category, or delete an outfit from category, and you can remove all accessories and makeup under MC Dresser menu. After MC Dresser, you can find MC Pregnancy section. Here you can start the pregnancy immediately, with or without a chosen sim as a parent. If your sim is pregnant, you can change the number of babies they will have, or how many of them will be girls or boys. You can change their trimester or make them go into labor immediately. The next one under MC Pregnancy is MC Tuner, but I will dedicate a whole section where I will discuss MC Tuner later on, so I will skip this and go straight to sim flags options right under it. Under sim flags, you can add flags to your sims such as Immortal, Freeze Motives, Freeze Carrier, Freeze Physique, or flag bypass outfit changes for townies you don't want changing their outfits ever, and you can copy and clear flags under this menu. The next one is flag active sims, which I don't necessarily use or know what it does, so I'm gonna skip that. The last option is the relationships menu, where you can add relations to other sims in that save file, like father, mother, uncle, cousin, son, daughter, or etc. You can also delete relationships with sims, clear all relationships for the selected sim, set active relationship statuses like enemies, despised, friends, lovers, and etc. And just as the MCC menu that shows up when you click on a sim, there's also another one for pets with similar but less options. The essential features under the pet menu are modifying cast, and it only takes that pet into cast and not their household. And you can set their age, rename them, delete, kill, move, adopt into a specific household, change breed, make happy, which fills all needs, reset pregnancy, and lastly you can give pets flags as well, such as immortal or never call or etc. From this point on, the MCC settings that I'm gonna discuss will affect your settings in every save file in your game, so keep that in mind while messing with them. You can always keep a backup of your previous settings just by copying the MC settings configuration file from your mods folder to your desktop or some other folder, so that you don't have to worry about messing up your settings if you made changes after backing up your settings configuration file. To go into global settings of MC Command Center, you will have to click on any PC, this could be on a community lot or at home, from any save file you want, and then click on the MC Command Center pie menu. From here you will see there are a few options on your screen, but do not be fooled into thinking there aren't many options, cause there are, unfortunately. And the deep dive starts here. The first option is MCC settings. Under there you will find the autosave option. Since I've already touched upon this on my mod overhaul video, which you can check out from the top right corner of the screen right now or from the description, so I'm gonna speed past this. Under autosave you can set your autosave name, set the interval of time you want to autosave, and adjust the maximum save slot number. The setting under autosave is gameplay settings. The first option under gameplay settings is adopt neglected child, which is disabled by default, which you can understand by looking at the Deadpool icon placed next to the disabled option. This makes it so if a child is neglected, rather than social services coming and taking your child into the void, an NPC household will adopt your child. The second option is similar, but this one is enabled by default. It's for younger sims that has lost their caregiver some way or another and now are left alone with no caregiver. And enabling this option will allow your sims to get automatically adopted rather than deleted. Third one is character value difficulty adjustment, and I believe this option requires you to have the Parenthood game pack to function. Since I don't own that pack, I have left this at the default value, and if you do have Parenthood, this adjusts the speed at which you can gain a character value. Next one is game time speed. This adjusts how fast a day in Sims goes by. Default number is set to 25. If you want your days to go slower, you can set the number higher, or if you want it to go faster, you can set it to a number that's lower than 25. I set it to 35 because I prefer days to go slower. I wouldn't recommend changing this option 24/7 because it does require a restart to take effect in your game, and it can mess up the calendar days, but there is an easy fix if you have UI cheats extension in your game, and if you don't, just get it, period. With that mode, you can right click on the season icon located on the bottom of the page next to the time, and from From there, you can just select the current season you're playing in, and that will fix your calendar issues immediately. Moving on to the maximum household size under gameplay settings. With this, you can change the maximum number of Sims you can have in one household. The default number is set to 8, but I set it to 10. And keep in mind, when you want to edit a household that has more than 8 Sims, you will need to use the modifying cast option that takes only the Sim selected into create a Sim under Sim commands, because the normal create a Sim in game is restricted to having a maximum number of 8 Sims, and if you have more than that, it will remove the excess from your household. The next is maximum rename length. I haven't messed with this option, and if I'm being honest, I think it's unnecessary because the limit of the number of characters in a Sim's name is already set to 14, which is already long, and as long as you don't plan on writing a paragraph for your Sim's name, this option does not matter. So motive decay. There is a motive decay percentage option which changes the speed at which all motive decay. I personally haven't messed with this option and have deemed it unnecessary, so I'm gonna move on to the next one, which is pause on zone. When enabled, this option automatically pauses your game when you load onto any lot, meaning you can go to the bathroom with peace in mind when there is a loading screen, not having to worry if the game will continue without you being there. The next one is Sims are immortal, and when enabled, this will make everyone immortal in your game. The default is set to disabled, and I also keep it at disabled. Next is Sims die on lot. When enabled, Sims that aren't on your lot and are just roaming the streets will turn into ghosts if they die, and the Grim Reaper will not appear, so the dramatic music will not commence if the Sim dying is not on your current lot. The next one is skill settings. You can bypass some skills from your game, or you can freeze progression of a skill, but unless you have a very specific reason to do so, I don't think this option will be used. The next one is teleport sim overlap, which is enabled by default. This is for when you're using the teleport multiple sims command, and as the name suggests, it allows sims to spawn on top of one another. And then there is the option to use random aging. This feature was added to the game with Get Famous, but since I don't own the expansion pack, I can only access it through MCC. This makes the Sims that spawn into the world not have 0 days on their current lifespan. And that was all for gameplay settings. Moving on to money settings under MCC settings, the first option you will find will be to allow children to pay bills. This option makes the pay bill interaction visible on child Sims as well as adult Sims. It's disabled by default, and since they're literal children, I have also kept it at disabled. You can set the apartment bill percentage, which can change the apartment bills to be higher or lower depending on your preference for your game. The next one under money settings is auto pay bills option. This is disabled by default. If enabled, this will make it so that your bills are automatically paid if your household funds are enough. I keep it at disabled for 2 reasons. First, this will pay for bills even if it leaves you penniless. Second, I'm too much of a control freak to let the game do my job for me. Just as apartment bills, you can change normal bill percent as well. This has the same functionality as the set apartment bill percentage option, but for normal houses. The next one is child support percent. This is the percent of a parent sim's value, which include lot value and household funds that will be billed for each child they are paying support on. The default is set to 1%, and I've kept it at default value. Next one is inheritance sim type, and when a sim dies, this setting determines whether or not they leave any of their household funds to their spouse or children, depending on the type of sim that is dying. This is set to none by default, which I've kept, but I might change it in the future depending on what I need and want in my gameplay. The next one is inheritance spouse first, which is enabled by default, meaning if a sim with a spouse dies, no matter their children, the spouse will get all their money. And under that option you will find pay child support, and with this you can enable child support payments as I have done in my game. You can set it to only happen if the parents are not married with one another, or only if they're married, which is a weird preference to have, but you can still do that if you wanted to. And that is it for money settings. Moving on to notification console and menu settings. Under here you can find the change sim menu order option, which can be confusing at first glance, but all it does is it can change the order of MC Command Center's menus. Next one is console command settings, which can be a lifesaver depending on your situation. From here you can activate any sim command that you would normally write on the command line with just one click, and also you can toggle the headline and hover effects on and off from here. After console command settings, there's the logging settings, which I never use, so I'm skipping that. Next one is notification settings, and from here you can disable or enable a type of notification in your game. The next option is phone text, which sets which calls go through even if your phone is silenced, and I've set it to all. And the show menu settings are just for cosmetics. From here you can change the visibility of the MC Command Center pie menu from specific targets, but keep in mind if you set the computer menu settings to none, there may be no going back from that. I would not suggest choosing the none option for that, like ever. Under notification console menu settings, there is relationship settings. You can allow team parenting from here, but this will also need the parenthood game pack, and since I don't have it, I kept that disabled. There is auto relationship settings. Under this, you will see breakup settings, bypass ancestral households, bypass played households, and move-in settings. What it basically does is that you can auto move out a sim after a breakup, and you can bypass your played or ancestral households from these settings, and you can change the behavior of who moves out after a breakup if you have enabled move out on breakup. I have everything under this disabled because I don't allow auto breakups for NPC households in the game, and for the households that I do play, I don't want them to automatically move out right after a breakup. After auto relationship settings, there is the option for friendship decay percentage. Friendships in game decay if you don't contact one another for too long. This adjusts the speed at which your friendship decays in game. I set it to slightly lower than the default version because I feel like friendships wouldn't disappear that easily in the normal world. The next option is friendship difficulty adjustment, and this one changes how fast you gain friendship in game. I find EA's version a little too fast for my liking, so I set this to -7 to make my friendship building somewhat more challenging. Just as friendship decay and difficulty adjustments, there is a romance decay and difficulty adjustment as well. The only difference I have in my game is I set the difficulty of romance to -8 instead of 7 like I did in the friendship one, so that romance is slightly harder to build than friendships in my game. Moving on from relationship settings, the set age span duration is to set the duration of days a living being, which could be a sim or a pet, has in the lifespan of your choice, which you can change under game settings. And with that, we will move on to MC Casts. The MC Cast is, if I'm gonna be honest, I have never messed with this because I don't see any reason why I should. But you can apply a appearance template for your sims, you can change walk styles on age up, and you can define a appearance template, which I don't know what it does. You can exclude traits, you can exclude personality traits that you don't want your sims to automatically get when they age up or get generated into the world. There is a female fit and fat limit and also a male fit and fat limit, but I haven't ever felt the need to use these. And the monitor physique option basically enables the fit and fat limit you've chosen before to take place in your game, and this is set to disabled by default, and I've kept it at that. There is an offspring option under MC Cast. From here you can set the offspring genetic behavior, like whether they're gonna get their parent skin tone or the middle value of their combined skin tones, or their physical attribute similarity percentage, and etc. Also, you can bypass blue babies from this menu so that your hybrid babies will not be generated with blue, green, or purple skin tones. You can set a default walk style for females and males, which I haven't, but you can if you want to. That's it for MC Cast. Moving on to MC Carrier. The top option is to bypass played households, which is basically to bypass all these options under this menu for played households and only set them for NPCs. The first option under it is Carrier Difficulty Adjustment. This adjusts the difficulty to promote in all carriers. Second one is Children Quit School, which just gives children an option to quit if they wanted to. The next one is Neighborhood Stories settings. If enabled, the Neighborhood Stories carrier changes will be limited by MC Carrier settings. Next is School Homework Progression. You can tweak this value if you wanted your sims to finish their school homework faster or slower. Negative is slower progress and positive is for faster. The next one is Secret Society Decay Percentage, which requires Discover University Expansion Pack. Modifying this setting changes the rate at which progress in Secret Society decays. The next one is Teens Quit School, which has the same function as Children Quit School but for teenagers. After that, there is a University Difficulty Adjustment, which, as the name suggests, adjusts the difficulty of universities. So if you find the university in-game to be too challenging, you can set this number to a positive one to speed up the progress in university. The next one is University Homework Progression, which serves the same purpose with School Homework Progression, but for university homeworks. I've set this to 20, which is about half a quarter of the time it would take for them to finish a homework for university normally, and this is a life changer because university homework takes forever with no tweaks. And after MC Carrier, you will see the MC Cleaner option. I feel like this menu will only come in handy if you're starting a save file from scratch and you want to have a completely empty slate, meaning no items, no sims, no relationships, but you might find some other uses for it, but I haven't used any of these options under MC Cleaner. So I'm moving on to MC Clubs. For this option, you will need to have the Get Together expansion pack. Under here, you can see some settings related to clubs. Through the club member counts menu, you can change the maximum number of sims that can be in a club, which is capped at 8 by EA, but with this option, you can set that maximum number up to 50. The next option is maximum joinable clubs, which is set to 3 by default, meaning a sim can only be in 3 clubs at once, but with this, you can set the maximum number all the way to 50 for maximum joinable clubs as well. Then monitor club members is for automatically filling in clubs with NPCs from the world. I keep this at disabled because it can get annoying when it starts removing sims from certain clubs that you have handpicked for them, but if you make clubs and you don't want to fill them all manually, this could be an option to try out. Also, the open members is a sub option for this. It specifies how many open positions will be left in clubs with the club monitoring turned on. Moving from MC Clubs to MC Dresser. Under MC Dresser, I have never used and don't know the ages to run on age up and the automatically clean baiting outfit options, so I will skip those. The next one is facial hair settings, where you can set facial hair ages and hair percentages. The default facial hair age is only set to young adults, but I have set it to all ages from teen to elder. The makeup setting options is another one I have no experience with, so I don't want to give false information. Moving on to the next one, which is outfit settings. From here, you can configure what outfit you want your sims to change into when they get home from work, or whether NPCs should only use saved outfits, which could be useful for medieval type of gameplay or something along the lines of that. And you can replace situation outfits separately with any outfit category of your choice, like outerwear, everyday outfit, or etc. And the situation use standard option needs to be disabled for your newly chosen outfit categories to replace those situation outfits. Also, I want to discuss the Fashion Authority mode at the end of this video for one person who requested it in my previous video, and Fashion Authority can also replace situation outfits, so these options may be useless if you decide to use Fashion Authority instead. But I will explain how I use Fashion Authority in my game after I have discussed everything to do with MC Command Center. After MC Dresser, there is an MC Occult option if you have the required packs for it. For example, if you have Get to Work, you can set the abduction frequency, abduction age, and stuff like that, and all of the other occults have more or less similar customization features, including maximum number of that occult sim and their pregnancy options. Moving on to MC Population. The first one under this setting is moving settings. Under here, you can mess with the automatic move-in settings that comes with the MCC story progression. I myself am not a big fan of the story progression that comes with MC Command Center because I'm a bit of a control freak, so a lot of these options under MC Populations is catered to my liking, which is that everything is to be under my control. So from here, you can allow homeless move-ins and enforce vampires to only move into vampire-specific lots, apartment move-in percentages, and the maximum number of homeless sims you want in your games other than the required EA NPCs. Since I don't allow automatic move-ins in my game, these options don't matter for me, but if you do allow automatic move-ins in your game, you can go through them on your own time. After move-in settings, there is the populating settings. Here, I basically set the percent baby, infant, and toddler to 0 to stop my game from generating random babies in my save files. You can also set the male percentage in your game to tweak the percentage of males that the game creates instead of a female sim. Next one is import trace settings. This could be useful if you want to populate your game with your own sims from your gallery library rather than randomly generated townies. The limit import by tags operates with the tags hashtag MCCC_bypass or hashtag MCCC_include. The limit bypass tags will not import sims with the hashtag MCCC_bypass in their description, and the only include tags option will import only the sims with the hashtag MCCC_include in their description. That way you can sort out in your library what sims you would like to be randomly generated into your save file. But be aware that the game could change their personality traits and some of their outfits depending on which role they're filling in your save file, and also you have to have a a good number of sims in your library for this to work properly. I think this is all you need to know about populating settings. And the next setting is enable or disable bar nights. I have enabled every type of bar night in my game, and this also allows your sims to get invites to go to bars for the selected types of bar nights. The next option under MC population is random lot challenges, and I know nothing about it, so I'm skipping this one. The next one is neighborhood stories settings, and if enabled, neighborhood stories, move-ins and outs will be limited by MC population settings you've set. Since I don't use either of the neighborhood or MC command center story progression, I've kept this at disabled. The last option under MC population is other settings. From here, you can adjust the maximum sims in zone. The game default is set to 20. You can set this number all the way up to 200, but this will strain your PC, so I would recommend you to keep it at a lower number than 200. And I keep mine at 30 because sometimes when I throw parties in my Let's Plays, I want to see more than 20 sims in one place to have it feel more lively, and I do this with the help of more guests at parties mode, which I'll be displaying on the screen right now. You can bypass clown walkbys or bypass sim calling, which I have enabled, but I would advise you to keep this disabled if your PC is not very good and struggles with the game already, because sim calling occurs when the maximum sims in zone limit is reached. You can disable immortal sims such as the Love Guru from City Living and make them mortal, but I've kept them immortal because I believe EA made them immortal for a reason. There's also an option for no Reaper stalking. If enabled, Grim Reaper will casually show up on public lots even if there's no that happening. This could be a fun setting to mess with for specific gameplays. I mean, imagine going to a nightclub with your sim and you see Grim Reaper busting out the moves on the dance floor. That would actually be so cool. And I, for now, keep it at disabled, but I might enable it in the future if I'm feeling a bit freakier, so you never know. The last one under other settings is called randomized visiting sims, which just shuffles the EA's visit list for lots so that sims don't always show up in the same order, which is disabled by default, so I would recommend enabling it for a more dynamic visit list. Moving on from MC population to MC pregnancy. This module is also another packed module like MC population, but I will only go into the settings that I actively use in my game here. One thing I hate about MC Command Center is the random marriages that happen, because one, they randomly move out together out of their existing households that I have carefully placed them in, and their last name changes, and they abruptly have kids and stuff, and I found out later on that you can completely stop these random marriages between NPCs. It's very easy. You just go into marriage sim selection, and under there is a marriage percentage option. From here, you will set the teen, young adult, adult, and elder marriage percentages all to 0, and voila, you should not have any more random marriages happening in your game. Since we've already disabled auto marriages, the other settings under marriage sim selections are now near useless, so I'm not gonna go into them. The next one after marriage sim selection is neighborhood story settings. Here there is an alter neighborhood option, and when enabled, the neighborhood stories pregnancies will be limited by the settings under MC pregnancy. You can also set child and pet adoption limits from here, but the setting that I use under here is only use neighborhood stories. With this option enabled, MC pregnancies will not run random pregnancy generations for NPCs, so no more random babies. We will put a stop to random babies in our save files. I have done so, and I'm very happy since I've changed this setting. There is another offspring menu under MC pregnancy, but I don't use any of its functions, so I'm going to skip that one, and also the other marriage and other pregnancy options for the same reason. The partner sim selection setting is only important if you allow auto marriages in your game between NPCs, and since I don't use any of that either. But if you do allow auto marriages, there are some spicy options like allow a fair percentage under here, so just so you know. The spouse sim selection is the same as partner sim, but it's for marriage and not just dating. And that was all I'm gonna discuss for MC pregnancy. The next module is MC tuner, but I will discuss this with the other MC tuner module that I have skipped before after this part. So the next and the last setting under computer MCCC menu is MC Woohoo settings. This comes with the MC Woohoo add-on module, which you can download from Deaderpool's website alongside MC Command Center. The first option under MC Woohoo is Woohoo Actions. The Allow Family option, if enabled, allows romantic interactions between family members. It's disabled by default, rightfully so, and I'm not really into that all Sweet Home Alabama type of relationship, so I keep the setting at disabled. Next is Allow Teens. This module allows romantic interactions between adults and teenagers. I keep this module enabled solely for storytelling purposes, and sometimes in teen relationships, one person ages up a couple of days earlier, and because of that, they can't even flirt, so I just keep the setting enabled for that type of scenarios and for storytelling. You can also allow same-sex try for baby in your game. This is disabled by default, and I've kept it disabled for realism purposes. The allow polygamy options allow your sims to have multiple partners at the same time. The next one is no strings woohoo. When enabled, woohoo and try for baby interactions can be attempted without romantic relationships existing between sims, which is a great setting to have because sometimes stupid stuff can happen, you know, when you are drunk enough or when you are sad enough. So having this option be there for my sims to be dumb is a great safety blanket for my mental health. The next one is the no strings ignore gender preference is a tuning for autonomous no string woohoo or try for baby interactions. This is set to disabled by default, and I kept it disabled because in my opinion, even if it's no strings woohoo, it should be with a sim of their gender preference. The allow try for baby option is enabled by default, and it determines the visibility of try for baby interactions in the pie menu. The last one under woohoo action settings is elder try for baby. This is to determine whether or not to allow elder sims to have the try for baby interaction, and since menopause is a thing, I kept it disabled, but you can change it according to your own preference. The next setting under woohoo actions is woohoo pregnancy. Here you can set risky woohoo pregnancy percentage, choose to use fertility in risky woohoo, the percent chance a sim will get pregnant with the try for baby interaction, and choose who gets pregnant in the same-sex try for baby if you've enabled same-sex try for baby and opposite-sex try for baby. So basically, if I had to sum it up, with these options, you can create a world where only men can get pregnant and women don't have to worry about a thing. I mean, if a Seahorse Utopian Sims world was a thing, this would be the go-to settings you should go for. After the woohoo pregnancy, there is the woohoo reactions option. Here under bed sharing, you can make your sims be able to share the same bed without having to be romantic or extremely good friends. I don't even know if good friends can share a bed in the game because I had this option enabled in my game ever since the dawn of time, so I don't even know, but this is a must-have for me to have enabled. You can turn off jealousy for everyone in the world, which is a bit excessive, and I keep it at disabled, which is the default option. Use privacy for woohoo option. When enabled, sims will shoo other sims from the room when they woohoo, which is like the normal behavior, but I keep this at disabled because I don't know, more drama. I don't know. I just feel like the woohoo in game is really covered up. I mean, even if there was somebody else in the room, why are they going into that room to do that thing in the first place? Like, anyway. Okay, sleepy woohoo. When enabled, sims who woohoo in a bed between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. will go to sleep in that bed after woohooing. And the next option after woohoo reactions is sim nudity settings. Under nudity settings, there's an option for nudity interactions. You can have nude woohoo enabled, which I have. This makes it so that your sims will go naked when having woohoo in bed instead of changing into their sleepwear, and the rest of the options like nude hot tub, nude sauna, nude shower, woohoo, and etc. all have the same purpose as the nude woohoo, but for objects other than beds. And there are some freaky options like nude yoga and nude exercise sprinkled along here and there, and even though they're not woohoo interactions, this mode can make your sims perform those interactions nude as well. If you want to have like a naturalist save file or naturalist gameplay, there you have it. Nudity genders under sim nudity selects which genders the nudity settings can apply to. By default, both genders are selected, and I've not changed that. You can select nudity ages. With the default options, nude interactions can only be done by young adult and adult sims, but with this, you can include teens and elders for these interactions as well. The last option under sim nudity is to stay nude after woohoo. This is enabled by default. If enabled and you've also enabled nude woohoo in your game, after woohoo, your sims will not change into their sleepwear automatically and will just stay naked. After sim nudity, the last option under MC woohoo is other settings. From here, you can enable and disable enable autonomous woohoo and try for baby. You can also enable extreme woohoo, and when enabled, Sims will woohoo more often, and they kind of go berserk with that, but I mean, it's your choice. I keep it disabled, and the autonomous rest time setting can be used to set the cooldown between autonomous woohoo interactions. The next one is use woohoo skill, which uses the woohoo skill added with this mod to determine the involved Sim's satisfactions after woohoo. You can allow the birth control options that comes with MC Command Center to be always available on your Sims pie menu, but I have wonderful whims in my game and I prefer to have only one birth control, so I keep all of this disabled. The last section under MC Command Center is MC Tuner. In this section, I will cover both the Sim menu and the computer menu MC Tuner interactions. I think everybody who has ever played Sims 4 will know Sims 4's autonomy sucks, and Deadpool kinda tries to fix it. And the path that I have taken in my game is I've downloaded the MC Tuner configuration file from Deadpool's website, which is not a must-have. It's completely optional, but the way I did it is first I went to Deadpool's website. From there, I went to the documentation section and choose the MC Tuner option. Here, there's a link to their automation scan documentation. From that link, I clicked to the annoying actions pre-autonomy scan section of the page, and there I found the MC Tuner zip file and I downloaded that file and extracted it onto my PC. In this zip, there is one configuration file, and any Windows computer can open this configuration file from the notepad, so keep in mind that you can do that, which contains all the original annoying autonomous actions IDs and names in it. From this list, you can just remove the actions that you don't want to block, meaning the not removed actions autonomy will be disabled in your game. So the ones that you leave on that configuration file, their autonomy will be disabled. This was my starting point for my current MC Tuner configuration file, because sometimes it's harder to find every interaction that you're looking for in the game, but it is possible if you know their names. And the next step was going into my game and enabling autonomy scan under MC Tuner in Sim Pie menu. Here you will also find the Restore Autonomy and Trade Autonomy scan options available. The Restore Autonomy has a list of all the interactions you have previously disabled the autonomy of, and you can re-enable those actions autonomy just by clicking on it from this list. The Trade Autonomy scan has actions like arm waves, body sway, breakdance, and etc. I didn't really feel the need to disable any of these, so I'm directly moving on to Enable Autonomy scan. After enabling Autonomy Scan, you can exit out of the MC Tuner menu and either click on the ground or on the object that is tied to the action you want to disable the autonomy of. I will show both these options, but let's just start with the object one. For example, we'll imagine I want to disable the autonomy of Sims grabbing coffee. For this, I will go to the object that my Sims use to make coffee and just click on it and choose the Autonomy Scan option. From here, you will be able to see every interaction that could be done with this object. From this list, I will go to the Make Espresso option and click on it to disable the autonomy of it. When you click on an action, that action will no longer have the angled brackets around it, indicating that Sims will no longer do that action autonomously in your game. The Ground Autonomy Scan option can be accessed by clicking on the ground anywhere and selecting Autonomy Commands. Here you will have three options. First one shows you a list of all the currently running autonomous interactions on your lot. This can be used when you see an interaction performed by your Sims that you want to disable the autonomy of but don't know the name of it. From here, you can look through the names of the currently running autonomous interactions and click on the one that you think is the action you want to disable the autonomy of. The second one is Search All Running Interactions. When clicked on, a pop-up asking an interaction name will show up on the screen. If you leave the prompt empty, the same interaction list from the currently running scan option will show, but if the list was too long and you were looking for a specific action, you can type in a keyword to potentially find the action easier than looking at the whole list. The third and the last option is Search All Autonomous Interactions. This too will bring up a pop-up asking for an interaction name, but this one contains not only the currently running autonomous interactions, but all the possible autonomous interactions in your game. Here you can type in a word like play to find actions related to play, or you can leave the prompt empty and go through the list of all interactions. This will take a long time to load and to go through, and I find just playing your game as normal and disabling annoying autonomous interactions as you go more doable. From this list, you can click on the ones that you want to disable. The interaction you disabled will disappear from the list immediately, and if you misclicked, you can go to Restore Autonomy from your Sim MC Tuner menu to re-enable the action you accidentally disabled. When you're done with enabling or disabling autonomous interactions, you should disable Autonomy Scan from the Sim SimPy menu. You can re-enable it anytime you want to mess with the options again, but unless you're actively disabling or enabling autonomous interactions, I suggest you keep this disabled. Moving on to Computer MC Tuner settings, the first one is change interaction behavior. Under here, there's a list of interactions that you can enable or disable in your game. Allow child baby care will allow a child to perform basic baby care interactions. Allow emotional deaths, if disabled, will make it so that your Sims will no longer die from extreme emotions. Allow instant upgrades will enable your Sims to instantly perform upgrades and will require no components. Allow monster under bed can be used to disable the monster under the bed for toddler and child Sims. Allow multiple BFFs will remove the limit of only being able to have one best friend, and now your Sims can have multiple best friends. Allow teen move-ins will enable teen Sims to invite other Sims to move in with them and can also be invited to move in. Disable witness death will make it so that when a Sim dies on lot, Sims around the area will no longer run to watch the death happen. Friendly ask if single will make the ask if single interaction a friendly one and not a romantic one. Friendly stay denied also makes the interaction a friendly one instead of a romantic one. Kisses always available, if enabled, will make the passionate and suave kisses always available, regardless of the mood or timeout. Put away books fix will make your Sims put away the books they were reading after they finish reading or doing homework. And stop random flirting option prevents Sims from autonomously flirting with other Sims when they're in a flirty mood if they have no prior romantic relationship levels. And that was all for the change interaction behavior settings. And the one after it is change interaction autonomy. Here you can enable or disable the autonomy of mischief, mean interactions, proposals, marriage, flirty interactions, repairs, cleaning, and lastly gardening. And the last option under MC Tuner is autonomy scan. Here you can archive autonomous actions, meaning under the currently running scan option, the menu dialog will also display archived interactions that have happened recently and not only the ones that are happening at that very second. And the maximum autonomy archive is the max number of interactions you want your game to keep an archive of. Keeping this number lower will help you with performance, so I wouldn't go too crazy high with this number if I was using this option. And that was all I had for MC Command Center, but as promised, I will quickly show how I use Fashion Authority in my game. To access its settings, you can click on any sim and go through Fashion Authority. I use this mode when I encounter a uniform or a situation outfit I don't like, but for simplicity's sake, I will try to show the options through an example. I picked a mixologist as my example. You can already see that they don't have a uniform in my game. That's because I already got rid of uniforms and situation outfits I didn't enjoy seeing, but let's just say we want all male bartenders to wear our chosen outfit in our game. To do this, I will choose to create a new thread from the Fashion Authority menu. There, I will select the adult body frame, masculine for fashion preference, and then go to situation job section, cause most NPC outfits are situation outfits. Here, since the sim is a bartender, I see the job bartender bar option. I click on that and then choose the start fresh option to create a new outfit from scratch. In this menu, the first thing I do is scroll down and rename the thread. For this one, I will write bartender situation M. The name really doesn't matter as long as you can understand what the thread was used for if you wanted to modify or delete it in the future. And after that, I set the icon, but you don't really have to, but I do it anyway. After that, I go to outfit merging rules to select the items from the uniform that I want to enforce. The unselected items will be merged from the Sim's original outfit. For this outfit, I don't want to enforce anything other than the full, upper, lower body, and shoes, so I will leave this at the default selection. The next step is the modifying CAS, which is the fun part. After you click that, you will be taken into CAS. From here, you just need to create the outfit you want your male bartenders to wear, and you can choose CC you have in your game as well. I just made a very basic outfit. If the situation calls for it, you can add accessories to it as well. I then click the tick icon when I'm done with creating the outfit. This will load you back into the game, and now that you're loaded back, you will see that he's now wearing the lovely uniform I've picked for him. This will be the outfit that all male bartenders will wear from now on in my game. But let's just say you made a mistake, or you want to change something with the outfit we created. To do that, you can click on any sim and select manage all threads. From here, you will see the thread we just created. Normally, if you modified other outfits, they will show here as well, but since I moved PCs, it's kind of bugged out and doesn't show my already created outfit replacements, but they're there, trust. By clicking on that thread, we can now modify it. Since we're here, I will show you the modify restrictions options as well. Here you can restrict the outfit to specific days of the week, like you can create multiple outfits for the same situation but for different days. You can also restrict an outfit to lot traits or lot challenges. For example, in my game, I can make it so that the lots that have the bouncer trait, my bartenders will dress more formally, and that's just an example of what you can do. You can also restrict it to either selectable sims only or NPC sims only or none at all. You can restrict the uniform for regions, which you can see on the screen right now. For example, with this, I can make a specific outfit for my bartenders in Solani, and I could make them dress more in the local fashion rather than the boring old black outfit. You can also restrict the uniform for seasons. This could come in handy for high school uniforms. You can have variations of the same outfit for different seasons, and I know the game doesn't have uniforms in high schools, but with this mod you can add a high school uniform as well. You can restrict the outfit to a specific lot, which can be very useful for teamed lots. You can also restrict it to specific sims. From here you will get the list of all potential sims for whatever the situation you created this outfit for. You can restrict an outfit for specific traits. For example, you can make a sloppy version of a uniform and restrict that to only slop sims. You can restrict it for venues, vacation, and weather. And to delete a thread, you can just scroll all the way down from the thread menu, select the delete thread, confirm you want to delete that thread, and for it to take effect, you need to load into a lot again. And that is all I wanted to show for today's video. I hope this video helped you out some way or another. This video took so much time to film and edit because I wanted to make everything very compact and try to save as much time as I could for you guys, but even with that in mind, this video came to be about 45 minutes. But anyway, my semester started this term and I'm taking 7 classes. You probably don't care about this, but I'm busier than usual. I will go back to making my Wild Child videos because god have I missed them so much. But I will sprinkle cast challenges here and there, and I also have a brand new document for all my mods in my game. This one is a Google Sheets document which you can find through the navigation post on my Tumblr. This one here has all the mods that I currently have in my game, and with this document I will keep it up to date, unlike the other one which I made solely for my mod overhaul video. And thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day and a week, and I hope to see you on my next video. Take care of yourselves and bye!